they are really spoken of, And why do I say women? From the very top of the very beginning of the chapter, it sort of stayed there that mum tahana. Now the mum tahana, which is or in English, it says or, the woman to be examined. The woman to be examined. That is the literal explanation, the English explanation here. And in the name of God, most gracious and most merciful, that is the utterance that comes before the text, the chapter, the whole text comes up. And so it is actually for women. It is a call to women. Don't, O ye who believe, women who believe, take not my enemies and yours as friends or protectors, offering them your love. Don't love them. So it is clear. If we go on to 2, it will go briefly to tell you more. Say, if they were to get the better of you, if they were to get the better of you, the pleasure of you, or whatever you give them, the pleasures of women, we all don't know that, they would behave to you as enemies and stretch forth their hands and their tongues against you for evil. And they desire that ye should reject the truth. Fear of you knowing that what they will do to you if they get hold of you and marry you and they are living with you alone. What if, evil comes up in their head and it's like a trap? They will put you into a very insecure state, and don't let them mislead you. And so they are conscious of this. So, and the Muslim woman, except today, the liberalism and how things have changed, you wouldn't think that most people have really overcome these things, have gone deep. I know there are others, other women who have stand up to it. They have stand up to sort of, as a result of the experience they've gone through, the personal experience they have gone through, has made them strongly decided, in every way, not to let it delude them or somehow. They've gone through, they've read it, they've seen it, they've realized that an experience that they've gone through really has made them have the solid grounds, not to let anything move them, but to stand on their grounds, to realize that it is not necessarily, the idea is not coming from God, but inspired by men who used it in sort of going their own favor or what will benefit them. And it's like it have changed, but it's not necessary. They didn't think it's necessarily from Allah. And if it does come from Allah to their view, then that means they have also gone straight from the path. They've already gone astray from the path, which isn't a good idea. But I hope that they really have seen or pulled out the details that I have pulled out, and come to realize that even if it is from Allah, it was for that time, that moment, when Muhammad was there, that was what the message was for, but not necessarily today. This moment for us to look at it and think as if it is a message freshly coming to you or this generation. It's not to do with this generation, from what I think or what I'm reading or I'm pulling out, because they don't really tally as solidly compared to today's practical life. Because as we've just read here, I mean, why would it enemy? There's issue about the enemy thing. There is issue about what do you call it? In the women sort of discrimination, where the Muslim woman should not marry any other, but the men can do as they please. And in the issue that if we read Surah, what do you call it? Surah, what do you call it? The XII, or Surah 5. It sort of talks about creation. God created us all from one. Let me put it out from one very source. So why would then He turn around and make such wild claim, making us all feel so bad? It won't be so appropriate to say, if you see Surah 5, Surah XXII, that is 2 eyes. It tells you here, that's 22. It tells you here in verse 5, O mankind, if ye have doubt about the resurrection, you have doubt about the resurrection. The Quran believes in the resurrection, is here, just like in the Bible. Consider that we create you out of dust. Consider the idea that we created you out of dust, then out of sperm, then out of leech-like cloth, then out of morsel of flesh, partly formed and partly unformed, in order that we may manifest our power to you, and we cause whom we will to rest in the wombs for an appointed term. Then do we bring you out as babies, then foster you, that ye may reach your age, O full strength. And some of you are called to die, and some are sent back to the feeblest old age, so that they know nothing after having known much. And further, thou seest the earth barren and lifeless, but when we pour down rain on it, it is stirred to life. It swells and it puts forth every kind of beautiful growth in pairs. If you look, it's accepted here that out of one creation, there are other verses and other chapters that sort of supports this as well. Out of one creation, they descended us, and then they put the other of the cloth. He placed man in the partly formed and partly not formed, and then gradually, man developed and became a fully human being. And somehow, whether he's suggesting that it's not just the cloth, the congealed cloth, but somehow there was another life being put in there or something. If you read it, you can see clearly. But the idea, what I'm pulling out here, is that it is like one same process that the Bible claimed: a man and a woman, congealed fetus in the belly, in the womb, and then you're born. So the creation is coming out of one creation. He created one, and out of one he made many. So if this is the case, if this is the situation, as we have used it in the terms of relationship and all that, we want to use that here also to have that in the back of our mind as something that we've had. We are sort of, we've already got in the back of our mind, and we are looking at the test. Then he's saying that you are not, as women, you are not supposed to have any relationship outside, and they are your enemies and all that. Why would that be? We are all one family. So why would that be? Would it be necessary? Would Allah, would Jehovah, the creator of all gods, say that? I doubt these things every day. And even the more I have doubted as I witness it with my own eyes, and my own mental ability to sort of read and understand what is written there. The text is clear. It's not something that they've really translated it clearly, And the fact that even the message has come in Arabic, but a man has to translate it to English, it tells you that it is Allah all right, or a spirit all right, but it is meant for a specific group of people. It is their God, and the rest are trying to adapt, or they are trying to sort of they are sharing it or offering it to people either through persuasion of force or persuasion of so persuasive ways. Could be anyhow, but if not force is not necessarily persuasion. It's quite a different mood, but either persuasion or force is being used to sort of put people into that situation. The same thing with Christianity. If you read even the Bible, in the Torah, that's the true text of the Old Testament, it is clear. Even the New Testament, Jesus Christ admitted that the message that he came with, the God of Israel, he didn't say the God of Ghana or the God of Britain or Jehovah is of America or any other. Probably all these places, if people were living there, they have their own form of worship. It has been carried out of these places. They knew, and the God and the Spirit only knew them. The rest of us, or any other people who make claim of Christianity or Torah or any Muslim or whichever, has been adapted into this force of religion, whether you like it or not. These are the facts there. So that even in the books, it's admitted that we are exalting the force of spirit up there, and it is not necessarily one true God for everyone to accept and sort of bound to follow. It is campaigning for itself. So I wish you well.